Prince William cannot stand Meghan Markle. Just trust me on this. I've reported this story for a long time. This isn't just mild dislike, it is all-out hatred.
What if I told you there's a covert alliance forming inside the royal circle, and it involves Prince William and none other than Jeremy Clarkson? That's right. A bombshell revelation from royal biographer Angela Levin has rocked royal watchers as she exposes a behind-the-scenes plot aimed at Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
And that's why, even though people are going totally crazy about the fact the future king will appear on Clarkson's farm, the hit Amazon show, of course starring Jeremy Clarkson, one of Meghan Markle's sworn enemies, is purposeful. He absolutely wants to do it because he cannot stand this woman. So Nelly posted on this, Jeremy Clarkson, I dream of Meghan Markle being dragged through the streets with feces thrown at her. Prince William, hi Jeremy, big fan of yours. Can I be at your show? Well, yes. Yes, that is what he's doing. He knows the repercussions. He wants to be connected publicly with Jeremy Clarkson, just like Camilla, the Queen, has been connected with Jeremy Clarkson. A reminder, by the way, that the Clarkson column that appeared in The Sun and caused a hysterical reaction at the time, with ITV and Amazon distancing themselves from the great man, was a joke. It was facetious. It was tongue-in-cheek. That's how he writes, but I will read it out to you so you have the full concept. He said, at night, I am unable to sleep as I lie there, grinning at the thought of all the things I'd like to do to her. I hate her on a cellular level. He then went on to describe a scenario inspired by the Game of Thrones series, imagining Meghan being publicly humiliated, writing, I dream of the day when she is paraded naked through the streets of every town in Britain while the crowds chant shame and throw excrement at her. Now, of course, if that was written by a more serious columnist and people took it literally, then maybe it would be fair enough for there to be that outrage. But actually, everyone knows Clarkson's shtick, and it was a confected outrage. I do note, by the way, despite saying they would, neither ITV or Amazon have sacked him. So, yes, what Prince William is doing is deliberate. Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, joins me now. Angela, there has been outrage about this. I mean, Femin Gra wrote on X, why is Prince William teaming up with a man who publicly fantasized about Meghan Sussex's humiliation? So the fact that this person calls her Meghan Sussex, I think immediately shows where her loyalties lie, because I think that's ludicrous. But do you think he's done anything wrong here?
The connections, the timing, the silence from the palace, it's all adding up to something bigger. Angela Levin isn't just another royal commentator. She's had exclusive access to senior royals, including Prince Harry in the past. And she's now speaking out about a brewing alliance that could change how we see Prince William's role in the royal feud.
No, I don't actually. And I think that he's entitled to join his farm, and that's what he wanted to do just for one occasion. And he wanted to find out as well what the mental health is like of the farmers, because some of them are really, really struggling at the moment. So why on earth should he care two hoots about Meghan? The fact is, Meghan has been so rude to so many people, or she's covered it and let Harry do it instead, but she's the one who's got it going. And I think it doesn't make a difference at all. I mean, she almost doesn't appear to Prince William, and I think that's fine, because she's also destroyed his brother. I think that he thinks that, you probably think that, and she's brought out all the worst things in him. So if he wants to join this extraordinary farm that he has, then why shouldn't he? Simple.
Well, I actually agree, Angela. And the thing is, right, Jeremy Clarkson is an equal opportunity slagger offer of the royals. Do you remember this, right? When Prince William hugged Mike Tyndall, I think it was after a polo event, and Jeremy Clarkson mocked them for it, right? Because he's a bloke, and he said, oh, why are the two royal men hugging? They shouldn't be doing that. Now, there wasn't big outrage over that, was there? There was only outrage over the Meghan Markle thing.
Yeah, because she's got all those people who would now call her Sussex, herself Sussex. So you know immediately where they come from and who they like. But I think he's not the most delightful man to be with, and he doesn't pretend to be. He can be quite rude and say what he thinks. Sometimes he says it without even checking in his head what he's doing. But that's him. If you don't like him, stay away. If somebody does like him, they go to him. But I don't think for a second they should consider what Meghan would like and how he's been to Meghan.
No, he's a true original. And the thing about Jeremy Clarkson, Angela, is that he has been absolutely incredible standing up for the rights of British farmers. And Clarkson's farm has actually probably raised more awareness of the plight of farmers and how difficult the job is than anything else in modern history. And I think farmers are incredible. And I think the wokerati, which is led by people like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, have been trying to destroy farmers because all of the climate change hysteria, which we know Harry and Meghan promote, even though they catch private jets themselves to the biggest hypocrites in the world, is destroying farmers. So good on William for doing that. But Angela, can we just take a moment to, I guess, contextualize why William does have a hatred for Meghan? Because she has torn his family apart. And after doing that, she didn't think that was enough. She then wanted to destroy the reputation of Catherine, the Princess of Wales. She released, via Prince Harry's spare, private messages sent between the Duchess and the Princess. I mean, come on. Harry and Meghan have stooped to lows in regards to William and Catherine that were previously unthinkable, especially, by the way, given the way that William stood up for Harry and stood by Harry despite his reservations over every scandal. You know, the Nazi scandal, the Naked in Vegas scandal, the works.
Levin claims Prince William and Jeremy Clarkson have formed a strategic friendship, one that's allegedly based on mutual frustrations with the Sussexes and their ongoing media offensive.
He's looked after Harry since he was a little baby. I mean, he felt very grown up. He's a responsible person. He's been that since William was a child. And he's wanted to save Harry or help Harry all the time. And this is what he's got. And I think as well that, he adores his wife. And it's more painful if someone attacks your wife or your husband than if it's you. You can take it yourself often. But if you say something to your wife, and Catherine has worked very hard and she's fitted in brilliantly and she's given up a lot of the things that you have to give up if you're a princess in the royal family. And I think that it's just beyond words, actually. It's absolutely disgusting. So he's very annoyed. She goes for the negative, Meghan, as we know, for a long time now. And so why on earth should she be counted in anything?
I know. And the thing is, Angela, there will be a lot of people who are saying, oh, William didn't know what he was doing. But he did know what he was doing. He's not trying to hide his hatred of Meghan Markle. And that's probably not what the royal rota will say, but I'm just stating the truth because that's what I do here. Now, can we talk about... Oh, sorry.
I think the word hate might not be absolutely right. I think he sort of doesn't want anything to do with her, doesn't care about her, is not interested in her one bit. I don't know that he's a hating person. But what he wants is that I don't want anything to do with her. And I think that's along the same lines, but it doesn't sound as bad. And I think...
No, I do know what you're saying, Angela. And I guess maybe how I would phrase it is that he hates what she has done to the royal family. He hates what she has done to her brother. Let me put it that way, rather than saying he hates.
Sorry to change that.
No. I do think that is a better way of putting it, actually, because you're right. William isn't really a hateful person, but he does hate her actions. Absolutely. Now, can we talk about Meghan's scam jam? Because, if you wanted to actually buy some good jam, I'd probably buy the Diddley Squat Farm strawberry jam, actually, Angela, because, you know, that's made on the farm and it's a genuine product. Meghan has now finally revealed how her jam is really made. And of course, not what she promised, lovingly at home. Let's have a look, Angela. Just normal factory, right? So she can try and say that it's all lovingly prepared, but very clearly, this is a mass-produced product.
I'm not entirely sure that she did this before or after somebody put a post on Instagram to say that the jam is made in a factory and the workers do the same as they do with any other jam, and everything else goes on the supermarket shelves. So maybe she very quickly came up with the film, but actually this is what it is. So what might be sold on the shelves to ordinary people might be, say, you know, £2.50. And if Meghan's going to sell them with all this fancy doodling, they could end up with, you know, 20 quid. So I don't trust that for 1 minute.
Jeremy Clarkson made international headlines when he penned a now infamous column attacking Meghan Markle, a piece that sparked massive backlash. But according to Levin, Clarkson's outburst wasn't just about Meghan. It was a calculated move backed by private encouragement from allies inside the royal fold.
No, indeed, Angela, neither do I. We also have this new cupcake video. You want to have a look at this too?
With pink.
Yeah, what do you think, Angela? I mean, people are saying, I mean, again, you know, I'm not good in the kitchen, but people are saying this is all very basic too.
They look like long sausages, don't they, really? And very unpleasant. So,
but the grift goes on. The grift goes on.
Yes, it is. I mean, the thing is to pretend that she can cook. She can't. She says she can't bake. Those are things you bake. So either she didn't do it or she's made a mess of it. And so she doesn't know whether she's coming or going or how to sort of let herself be known to do something or not to do something. I mean, it doesn't matter if she doesn't cook it, but she's sort of half in, half out, as she wants to be with being royal, half in, half out. She doesn't know quite who she is. She is stuck. She didn't know how to behave. And it goes from the royal family to, well, they look like sausages.
Which is certainly
you're making me laugh.
It's not a pleasant thought, is it?
No, it isn't.
I mean, this is the thing. I find all of her food, Angela, genuinely so unappealing to look at. I mean, look, of course I will taste the scam jam. I think I'm a good judge of jam, and I will taste it. I'll give it a go. But it all looks so unappealing. It's like the banana split with Gwyneth Paltrow looked so unappealing as well. I don't think the food ever looks particularly good. And the social media strategy is just a total mess, like a complete mess. If you look at the grid, right? So, for example, this is the grid here. If we just take this shot of as ever, and all of it. I mean, I actually was reading from a food photographer who just said all of that just as a mess. It's a mess of a brand, and I have to agree. But look, Angela, since you've been...
It's a bit like her clothes, isn't it? Mm-hmm. They're always a mess. They might be expensive, but she's actually a messy person.
Angela, since you've been here last, one of the biggest scandals ever involving Prince Harry has broken. He is now no longer part of the Centre Bali charity, which he founded in 2006 as a tribute to his late mother, the Princess of Wales, Princess Diana. Of course, the only other charity he founded was the Invictus Games. So this is a huge blow to Harry. Queer Lips of Truth posted in this saying Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are in serious crisis mode tonight. The expose on Centre Bali is very serious. It all focuses, Angela, on Harry's fallout with this woman, Sophie Chandoka. And you'll remember she is the woman, and I think we should have a look at this actually again, Angela. She is the woman that Meghan Markle publicly humiliated.
And guess who Levin hints is behind the curtain? Prince William himself. What do you think? Is Prince William really collaborating with Clarkson? Is Angela Levin revealing the truth or just stirring more drama?
And of course, Sophie Chandoka, a very accomplished woman, didn't like being embarrassed in that way. Her statement was utterly, utterly scathing of the charity founder, Prince Harry. She said, there are people in this world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat people and then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. Beneath all the victim narrative and fiction that has been syndicated to press is the story of a woman, me, who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny, misogynar, and the cover-up that ensued. But of course, Angela, there are two sides of the story. You are Prince Harry's biographer. You followed him for well over a year and you know about this charity. So what is really going on?
Well, let me start at the beginning, which people often haven't said. It was Prince Charles who was trying desperately to find something for Harry to do in his year off after school. And he suggested it to him that he went there to Africa and he was with children who hadn't got parents because they'd died because of AIDS, and if he would like to do that. So he wasn't sure, but he went. And that was the change of his life then, because he absolutely adored it. He played with the children. And I don't think you've often seen a boy of 15 or 16 who would sit and hold a very small baby who didn't look well at all for maybe hours on end. I mean, he was very good at that, very patient, very caring. And the kids all loved him because he would play football with them. And there was one little boy, aged 4, who adored Harry. And Harry bought him some Wellingtons and he went to bed wearing them. He wouldn't actually take them off. And he and Harry became friends. And Harry invited him over to the UK and he was at Harry and Meghan's wedding. So there were people there who he really loved. So I think the attack on him has to be looked at carefully. And I saw in the Times, really, that Baroness Chalker of Wallasey, who was a trustee for Prince Harry African Charity nearly 20 years, and she, a very highly regarded woman, said that it was actually not Harry's fault. It was Dr. Chanduka's fault. She's the one we saw at the polo thing. And she was impossible to work for. And so they all left. And then Harry left later with his friend who started it up with him, Prince Isiso. And so she's now taking them to court to go back. So it's a terrible mess, isn't it? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm sure I believe the Times, but it's quite interesting. She, Baroness Chalker, she was a Conservative MP for 20 years, an African minister for 8 years. So she does know what she's talking about. So I think all this needs to hang around for a bit until we really know what happens. But I'm not surprised he's absolutely devastated, because I think he feels probably devastated that Meghan wants him less and less in the spotlight, that she can get on without him, that she's saying she wants to be a billionaire on her own. It's nice. And that he has felt that he'd done very well there. And he did, because the children had no family, no parents, and he could give them lots of love. He did actually do that. And he told me how much he loves it. And he had no need to do that. And the things he said and the people he did. And he also did, he thought he'd learned to do lots of odd jobs, building fences and cooking dinners and washing everything up for people. I don't think he would say that or do that unless that was true. So I think we have to wait. But he is obviously very, very shocked by it.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want real royalty without the palace-approved sugarcoating. Smash that like button and drop a comment below with your take. Thanks for tuning in. More revelations, more royal drama, and more shocking truths are coming your way. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and stay questioning.